Since I have been talking a lot about warfare and weapons lately, there is one aspect of the rules that I have not covered yet, and honestly I have never really delved into it before making this video, and that's artillery and indirect fire rules. GURPS basic set has the artillery skill with several specialties, says that it is used for indirect fire but does not actually have any rules for it, so we'll have to scour other books. GURPS Low-Tech has indirect fire rules for mechanical and low-tech gunpowder artillery, catapults and bombards. All mechanical artillery requires a crew to operate, but only the artillerist needs to have the artillery skill. Mechanical artillery also has one special trait: minimal range equal to 25% of maximum range. Finally, both catapults and bombards on low TLs are fixed mount weapons, which means that it is difficult and slow to change their line of fire. To change targets along the same line of fire, you have to either adjust the missile weight or powder charge. This can be done with an artillery, catapult or cannon roll. If you miss, the projectile scatters, but since it is unable to change its line of fire, the scattering works differently. If your scatter roll results in an odd number, then the projectile falls short along the line of fire, and any even roll causes it to overshoot. Even though such pieces of artillery are fixed mount weapons, you can still change lines of fire. To do so, make an artillery, catapult or cannon roll at -2 or an unpenalized engineer combat roll. This takes 5 hours, but you can cut down this time to as low as 30 minutes by applying the normal penalties for haste. Since these weapons are also huge, you apply an additional -1 per full ton of weight. Obviously, if your catapult or bombard is mounted on a vehicle, there is no need for all this, just turn the vehicle itself. If you need even bigger cannons, you can take a look at GURPS Low-Tech Companion 2 Weapons and Warriors. GURPS High-Tech provides more detailed artillery rules. There are two kinds of indirect fire, observed and predicted. Predicted indirect fire means that you attack an area that you cannot see, but that you can identify on a map. Such attacks use the normal rules for attacking an area and usually are pre-planned, and your fire is corrected before the battle, so you do not take a -10 penalty for firing blind. Observed indirect fire requires an observer who has the forward observer skill. Observed indirect fire is essentially blind. The gunner rolls at -10 and does not benefit from accuracy. The forward observer, however, can direct and correct his fire. Obviously, he must be able to communicate with the gunner and also know the location of the gun, which requires a navigation roll. This navigation roll takes a +1 for a compass, +3 for a GPS system, and -10 if the observer has no map at all. Then the observer must locate the target by making a forward observer roll. All normal vision modifiers apply except the range modifiers, they work differently. Apply -3 per 500 yards or fraction thereof between the observer and target, dividing range by the magnification of any vision aid, and by 2 for a rangefinder up to its maximum range. Targeting programs for any fire control computer also apply. Locating the target with this forward observer roll and telling the gunner where to fire takes 2d plus 5 seconds, and only after that the gunner may fire his first shot at -10 for firing blind and modified by the margin of success or failure on the forward observer roll. Then, if the observer can observe the effect of the shot, he can make the same roll again and add the margin of success or failure of the second roll to that of the first roll. He can repeat it again and again to remove the entire -10 penalty, but he cannot give the gunner a bonus. A critical success on a forward observer roll reduces the penalty to 0 immediately, and a critical failure indicates a friendly fire incident. Finally, if you are using a laser designated to guide a smart shell or bomb, then a dexterity-based forward observer roll can replace any artillery or gunner roll. GURPS Ultratech does not have any new rules, but I think it's safe to assume that satellite imaging and drones may let the gunner act as his own forward observer in some situations. Anyway, thank you for watching and I will see you next time.